Hey everybody, let's learn a little bit today about how to use GitHub. Alright, so we're just going to go through the basic things that everybody needs to know about GitHub. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off by deleting a repository, because we want to make this repository over again so we can use it as a tester. So let's just type in the name and delete. Alright, so when you want to make a repository, the very first thing you're going to do is click on New Repository. And we can name this one the same thing, Beginner Boilerplate. And, let's see, well, for now we'll make it a public repository. We don't need a description. And we'll say initialize this repository with a README. Yeah, there we go. Because now we'll be able to have one file in our folder. Create. Alright, so we've got our one file, and you can see here we've got one commit, and this is our initial commit. They put it in there for us. And we've got one branch, and we've automatically got our master branch as our default. Alright. Now you can see on GitHub, we've got our master branch here, and we could create another branch if we wanted to, because it says find or create, or we could do lots of other things. But for now, let's just create another branch, and let's call it the development branch, because that's what we like to name our branches. So now if we go check out branches, you'll see we've got our master branch and our development branch. And you can see this one's the default, and there's some other information. So we're just going to head back to our development branch. We're going to make sure it's checked. You see branch development. Now, imagine that we were doing some changes on the development branch. So we're going to go into our README, we're going to edit it, and then we're going to say, this is a really, really cool feature. Alright, so we've made our super cool feature, and we want to give a message to this and say, made a super secret feature. Perfect. And it says commit directly to the development branch. Okay. Now you can see that in our development branch, we've got a little more information. Okay, let's head back to this little code button, and it'll show us our overview rather than just looking at this file. Alright, so now you see we've got our development branch, because it says branch development. Now it says, hey, you've got an update that you've done to this branch, because now we have two commits. You can see initial commit, super secret feature, and in our master branch we have one commit, and the one commit is initial commit. Well, what we want to do is we want to get our master branch to be up to date with development. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go click on this little guy where it says you recently pushed branches development, and this is telling us, hey, there's a difference between your two branches. So we can click here, compare and pull request, and we can say, okay, well, it gives us a lot of information here, but the things we really want to look at is what's the base, because the base is where we're pulling to, and the compare is where we're pulling from. And it tells us there's no problem. You can merge these things right away, and it's not going to break anything, so that's good. And it's going to show me what I changed. Okay. Now I can make a new message here if I want to, but for now I'm just going to say make the request. Okay. So now we're in a new tab. We're in the pull request tab. So that means that this hasn't been finished yet. If we go back to our master branch, we'll still see one commit, and it doesn't say super secret feature. But if we go to our pull request, and we go to this one, and then we say, okay, there's no conflicts. And you also just get to see this little extra bit of information here just to make sure that everything you're doing is what you want to do. You see Hansen wants to merge commit into master from development. Perfect, that's what we want to do. So let's merge it. Confirm. Okay, now it's done. So now you get this purple, and purple is really good. So now we go to code, and then we look, we're on our master branch, and we see it's up to date. This is a really, really cool feature. And if we look at our commits, you'll see we have 3 now. And that's because we have one commit that we made in our development branch, and then we have the merge history here telling us that we pulled something in. All right, so that's pretty much the bare bones basics of how to use GitHub.